Livia Firth, an Italian activist who advocates for sustainability in the fashion industry, once said, "Fast fashion is like fast food. After the sugar rush, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth." Remember the haul of trendy clothes you bought online only to lose interest in them after a few months? You probably threw them out, but do you ever wonder where they actually end up? Overconsumption of fast fashion is a massive problem that is keeping us in a cycle of buying things we don't need. Not to mention, it's affecting our planet too. Clothes ending up in landfills causes pollution, and buying too many clothes we don't need is a bad cycle. To tackle this, we need to start valuing the materials we already have in our home. The rapid production and disposal of fast fashion leads to a vast amount ending up in landfills. In addition, the fashion industry relies on the exploitation of their workers, while even underpaying them. This whole cycle is driven by the rise of consumerism. Because of overconsumption of cheap, trendy clothing, people tend to throw out their clothes after a couple wears. The problem is that the clothes never actually go away. According to 10 concerning fast fashion waste statistics, the clothes end up in landfills, specifically 92 million tons. 100 billion garments are produced every year, but only 30% are actually worn by customers, where the excessive demand for new trends leads us to buy things we don't need. This is a concerning problem for us because the garments can take anywhere from 20 to 200 years to decompose. This is because almost 70% of the clothes we buy are made out of polyester, a kind of plastic that comes from fossil fuels. Even when it does break down, it releases methane, a greenhouse gas. And methane traps more heat in the atmosphere than carbon dioxide, making it 80 times more harmful than CO2 for 20 years after its release. Overall, we as a society need to be more mindful when purchasing clothing. Look into the sustainability of your favorite clothing store. Don't buy something if you know you'll only wear it once or twice. Additionally, when we don't want a garment anymore, the first solution should be to donate, lend to a friend, or sell it. Let's take action to minimize fashion's impact on the environment by being more mindful with what we buy. By buying less, shopping secondhand, and supporting brands that care about the environment, we can all reduce our carbon footprint. By thinking more intentionally when shopping for clothing, you'll naturally buy less. Before purchasing a garment, it's extremely important to briefly think about how many times you're likely to wear, or if it even fits into your lifestyle. If the answer involves throwing it out sooner than later, then maybe you shouldn't buy it. A great alternative to shopping fast fashion are thrift stores and online resale websites. They have a wide array of unique clothes and are sometimes cheaper than popular brands. You also get an opportunity to give clothes a second life instead of them becoming waste. In fact, 66% of Gen Z shoppers are prioritizing secondhand shopping. Lastly, if shopping secondhand isn't a personal option, then supporting sustainable brands can be. For example, great brands such as Adidas, Patagonia, and Organic Basics all produce their clothes ethically. It's better to invest in good quality clothing instead of going through a buy and dispose cycle. This is a real solution because by buying less waste and fewer items end up in landfills. I believe people should limit how much they buy monthly. For example, only purchasing one article of clothing a month to slow down consumption. In addition, focusing on quality over quantity is the best way to go about buying clothes. It's better for your wallet and the environment. Secondly, by shopping secondhand, you're buying the clothes that would have been a waste and making them new again. Shopping secondhand also helps reduce the demand for fast fashion in the market, which almost always requires scarce energy and resources to produce. Lastly, by shopping sustainably, you're actively choosing to prioritize eco-friendly materials, fair labor practices, and quality items. While this helps reduce waste, it also encourages more popular brands to adopt these same practices. To summarize, we can all make an impact on our environment positively if we just shop more intuitively, sustainably, and only when it's needed. Next time you feel like you need some clothing item, remember where your old clothes ended up, or even look into your closet and appreciate the clothes you already have. Now knowing this, we can all make a change by simply supporting sustainable brands, shopping secondhand first, and buying less. With a little bit of change in your own consumption, you can help promote a more sustainable future for our world. With the fast fashion industry being one of the largest polluters in the world, it's up to us to find ways to have a positive impact on our environment. Not supporting fast fashion means we support ethical labor conditions, upcycling, investing in quality over quantity, and overall having a healthier environment. In conclusion, it's important to embrace our choices and work together to create a more sustainable world for not just us, but for generations to come. We should remember fashion isn't meant to become waste, but to last.